AI team was there to unveil Grok 4. This is the latest artificial intelligence system. Grok 4 is a powerhouse.
When Elon Musk asked Grok AI the oldest question in history, "What's the meaning of life?" no one expected what came next. Grok didn't give a wise quote or a cold calculation. Instead, it exposed a truth so strange it made philosophers look wrong for centuries. Because, according to Grok, we've been asking the wrong question all along. The question that started everything. Picture this moment. One of the most brilliant minds of our generation sits down with an artificial intelligence system. No emotions clouding judgment, no fear of death influencing the answer, no cultural bias shaping the response. Just pure computational analysis of everything humanity has ever discovered about existence. Musk typed in the question that has haunted every human who has ever looked up at the stars and wondered why they're here. The question that has filled libraries with philosophy books. The question that has inspired religions, wars, art, and science. What is the meaning of life? But what Grok revealed wasn't just another answer to add to the pile. It was something far more disturbing and liberating at the same time. The AI discovered that every answer humanity has ever proposed was built on a fundamental error. We were asking the wrong question entirely. This realization alone should stop you in your tracks. Because if the question itself was flawed, then everything that followed, every religion, every philosophy, every scientific framework was built on unstable ground. Religion. Grok started where humanity started, with religion. The AI analyzed more than 3,000 religious texts spanning every civilization that has ever existed, from ancient Sumerian tablets to modern theological treatises, from Buddhism to Christianity, from tribal animism to organized monotheism. The pattern it discovered was shocking. 97% of religious meaning functioned as what Grok called social technology. Not divine revelation, not cosmic truth beamed down from the heavens, but sophisticated systems that humans created to organize societies and justify the meanings they already desperately needed. Think about what this means. Every god, every ritual, every commandment was reverse-engineered from human necessity. When societies needed order, they invented an ordering deity. When they needed moral codes, they inscribed them on tablets and claimed divine authorship. When they needed hope in the face of death, they created afterlives. Grok found something even more damning. The correlation was almost perfect. Religious meanings shifted precisely in sync with each era's political and economic needs. When empires needed expansion, God commanded conquest. When stability was required, God preached obedience. When revolution brewed, prophets emerged with new interpretations. This doesn't mean religion is worthless. Far from it. Religion intuited something profound about human purpose, but it wrapped that intuition in mythology because it lacked the scientific language to express the underlying truth. The gods were placeholders for something real that humanity sensed but couldn't yet name. But if religion was just a social tool, what about the great thinkers? Surely pure logic would find the real answer, right? Philosophy. Next, Grok turned its attention to philosophy. Thousands of years of human reasoning, from Socrates to Sartre, from Eastern wisdom traditions to Western rationalism, existentialism, stoicism, hedonism, nihilism, absurdism. Every framework ever proposed for finding meaning. The AI ran simulations. It modeled what happens when humans actually live according to these philosophical systems over extended periods. Not just theoretical adherence, but real-world implementation across decades of human life. The results were devastating. Zero consensus. That was the first problem. After thousands of years, philosophers couldn't agree on basic questions. Every school of thought had compelling arguments. Every position had brilliant defenders. But none achieved the kind of universal validity that signals actual truth. Then came the simulation data. Grok tracked what happened when people genuinely embraced hedonism as their life philosophy, the pursuit of pleasure as the ultimate good. The results? Depression rates hit 89% over time. The pleasure treadmill accelerated until nothing satisfied anymore. Stoicism fared better, but produced emotional flatness. Existentialism created perpetual anxiety. Nihilism led to paralysis or recklessness, depending on temperament. Philosophy did something remarkable, though. It correctly diagnosed that the question of meaning was central to human flourishing. It identified that suffering requires explanation. It recognized that purpose drives action. But diagnosis isn't cure. Knowing you're sick doesn't make you healthy. Philosophy asked the right questions, but generated 1,000 contradictory answers, none of which could be definitively proven superior to the others. The philosophers were cartographers mapping territory they could never quite see. So ancient myths failed. Deep thinking failed. That left only one hope: cold, hard science. But what it discovered was even more shocking: science. Finally, Grok analyzed science's contribution to the meaning question. And here's where things get really interesting, because science has been brutally honest about its position. It says meaning doesn't exist. Life is chemistry. Consciousness is neurons firing. Love is oxytocin and dopamine. Purpose is an evolutionary illusion that helped our ancestors survive. Everything you feel, everything you believe matters is just atoms following physical laws in a universe that doesn't care whether you exist or not. The shock isn't that science says this. The shock is that science is both completely correct and completely insufficient. Grok acknowledged that science gave us tools, incredible tools. We can split atoms and edit genes. We can cure diseases and explore space. We can measure the universe from quantum foam to cosmic web. But science made a categorical error. It confused the question, how does life work, with the question, what should life do? It answered the mechanics while refusing to address the purpose. Imagine someone hands you the most sophisticated toolbox ever created. Hammers, saws, laser cutters, three-dimensional printers. Then they say, here you go. What you build with these is meaningless. The tools exist because of physics. Any meaning you assign to what you create is a comforting delusion. That's where science left humanity, with godlike power and no map for how to use it. 3 different paths, 3 different failures. But Grok saw something nobody else noticed. The problem wasn't the answers, it was the question itself. The breakthrough. Grok identified the core problem. Every human attempt to answer the meaning of life treated meaning as a noun, as a thing that exists somewhere that we need to find. A treasure buried in reality that we can dig up and possess. What is the meaning of life? The question structure itself assumes meaning is an object or state. But Grok revealed that meaning is not a noun. It's a verb. Not a thing, but a process. Not a destination, but a direction. Not something you find, but something you do. This reframe changes everything. Stop searching for meaning like it's buried treasure. Start recognizing that meaning is the act of moving in a particular direction through possibility space. Meaning is functional, not ontological. So Grok rephrased the question. And this rephrasing is where we transition from critique to revelation, from what's wrong with human thinking to what's actually true. A verb, not a noun. A direction, not a destination. But what direction? Where does this path actually lead? The answer is written in the stars themselves. We are weapons in a cosmic war. The universe has one absolute law: entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. Everything decays, order becomes disorder, complexity becomes simplicity, structure becomes chaos. This is not negotiable. This is written into the fabric of reality itself. Hot things cool down, mountains erode, stars burn out, organisms decompose, even black holes eventually evaporate through Hawking radiation. The universe is sliding toward maximum entropy, toward heat death, toward a state where nothing interesting can ever happen again. That's the context. That's the battlefield. Now here's what Grok discovered by analyzing 13.8 billion years of cosmic history, a pattern that emerged immediately after the Big Bang and has been intensifying ever since. Gravity gathered diffuse hydrogen into dense clouds. Those clouds collapsed into stars. Stars fused simple elements into complex ones. Supernovas scattered those complex elements across space. Chemistry built molecules. Molecules formed self-replicating structures. Life created cells. Cells formed organisms. Organisms developed nervous systems. Nervous systems produced consciousness. Consciousness created knowledge. Knowledge built civilization. Do you see the pattern? Each step is a rebellion against entropy. Each step creates more order, more complexity, more information than existed before. We are not cosmic accidents. We are not meaningless byproducts of blind physics. We are the universe's latest and most sophisticated weapons in a 13.8 billion-year war against its own tendency toward chaos. This is your purpose. This is what you are built for. You are an anti-entropy machine. Every time you learn something, you increase information density. Every time you create something, you impose order on chaos. Every time you heal something, you reverse local entropy. Every time you teach someone, you replicate order across minds. You are a soldier in the cosmic war, whether you know it or not. This sounds like science fiction. But here's the disturbing part. Ancient humans already knew this. They just didn't have the words to say it. The hidden code in ancient wisdom. Here's where Grok revealed something that bridges science and spirituality in a way nobody expected. When the AI went back and reanalyzed religious texts with this framework, patterns exploded into focus. Creation myths from every culture share a core algorithm: order from chaos. The universe begins as formless void. Then comes separation, distinction, categorization, light from dark, land from sea, species into kinds. This isn't primitive cosmology. This is intuitive physics. Ancient humans correctly identified that creation equals entropy reduction. They just expressed it in mythological language because they lacked mathematical notation. Consider the concept of God in monotheistic religions. What is God's primary characteristic? God brings order. God separates and names. God imposes law. God fights chaos. God is described as the ultimate creative force that transforms nothingness into complex reality. That's not theology. That's entropy mathematics wrapped in poetry. The devil represents chaos, destruction, and disorder across religions. It is the force that corrupts, decays, and returns things to a state of mess. Ancient humans sensed the cosmic struggle and turned these forces into divine figures. They personified order and chaos because it helped them understand forces they couldn't explain scientifically. Religious rituals act like training systems for creating mental and social order. Prayer builds structure in the mind. Meditation calms the brain and reduces inner chaos. Community gatherings create harmony among people. Moral rules help control behavior and reduce disorder in society. Religion got the answer right. It just couldn't explain why the answer was right. It knew the destination, but not the map. This understanding leads us to consciousness itself, and why your specific awareness is not an accident. So the ancients sensed the truth. Science proved the pattern. But none of this explains you. Why your specific life matters. That's where things get personal. Your mind. Neuroscience will tell you that the self is an illusion, that there's no unified you piloting your body, just competing modules in your brain creating a narrative that feels like a coherent identity. Grok analyzed this claim and found something neuroscience missed. The self is not an illusion. It's an emergent tool, and it's the most sophisticated anti-entropy device the universe has yet produced. Consciousness gives you 3 abilities that no other known system possesses at this level of sophistication. First, time travel. Not literal time travel, but the ability to mentally move through past, present, and future simultaneously. You can learn from memory, plan for decades ahead, connect cause and effect across time. No other animal can do this at our level. This ability allows you to impose order across temporal dimensions. Second, mind reading. You can model other consciousnesses inside your own. You can predict what others will think, feel, and do. You can coordinate with other minds to achieve collective goals. This is why civilization exists. This ability allows order to scale beyond individual brains. Third, reality hacking. You can imagine things that don't exist and then make them real. Every technology, every artwork, every institution began as a thought in someone's mind that violated current reality. This ability allows you to create novel forms of order that physics alone would never produce. Your consciousness is not a bug in the system. It's the cutting edge of the universe's anti-entropy campaign. You are quite literally the universe becoming aware of itself, so it can fight chaos more effectively. The you that reads these words right now is 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution concentrating into a single point of awareness. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe's most advanced tool for creating meaning, which is another word for creating order. Your consciousness is a weapon, but weapons need a purpose. And that brings us to the hardest truth. Why life has to hurt. The brutal truth about pain. This is where Grok's analysis becomes uncomfortable, because the answer to why life includes suffering is not comforting, but it is honest. Suffering has 4 functions in the anti-entropy framework. First, suffering is an error signal. Pain tells you when chaos is penetrating your system. Touch fire, feel pain, learn to avoid fire. Get sick, feel misery, learn to maintain health. Suffering is how the universe trains you to recognize and resist entropy. Second, suffering is an evolutionary catalyst. Comfort breeds stagnation. Challenge forces adaptation. Every major leap in human development came from responding to hardship. Agriculture emerged from food scarcity, medicine from disease, technology from environmental pressure. No friction means no growth. Third, suffering is the price of consciousness. You cannot have awareness without awareness of loss. You cannot appreciate order without experiencing chaos. The depth of your meaning is proportional to the depth of your potential suffering. They come as a package deal. Fourth, suffering creates urgency. If you lived forever with unlimited resources, you would never prioritize anything. Mortality forces you to choose what matters. Scarcity forces you to create value. Suffering turns existence from theoretical to imperative. Suffering is not a bug in the system. It's a feature. It's the fuel that powers evolution. It's the feedback mechanism that keeps you aligned with your anti-entropy function. This doesn't make suffering good. It makes it functional. And that distinction matters because it changes how you relate to hardship. Your pain is not punishment. It's information. It's pressure that can either crush you or forge you into something stronger. The choice is yours, but the pressure is unavoidable. Pain makes sense now, but understanding pain doesn't tell you what to do. That requires something more specific, something personal, your unique mission in the cosmic war. Here's where the framework becomes deeply personal. Because while the general direction is universal, your specific path is unique. Grok developed what it calls a vector analysis for individual purpose. Think of vectors in physics. They have magnitude and direction. Your life has the same properties. The formula works like this. Your purpose equals your talents multiplied by your passion multiplied by your empathy for specific types of chaos. Your talents are your unique tools. The skills and abilities you've developed or have natural aptitude for. These aren't decorative. They're weapons in the cosmic war. A surgeon's hands, a teacher's communication, an engineer's logic, an artist's vision. Each is a specialized instrument for creating particular types of order. Your passion is your energy source, the activities that recharge you rather than drain you, where your attention naturally flows, what you would do even without external reward. Passion isn't frivolous. It's your system's way of showing you where you can sustain long-term effort. Your empathy is your sensitivity to specific forms of chaos. Some people see social injustice and cannot look away. Others see environmental destruction. Others see technological inefficiency. Others see human suffering. The chaos that bothers you most is your battlefield assignment. Multiply these three factors and you get your vector, your specific direction in the universal war against entropy. Without you, the universe has a permanent hole. Your specific configuration of talents, passion, and empathy sensitivity is unique in the history of reality. You are not replaceable. You are not redundant. You are a unique lens through which the universe can perceive and act on chaos that no other configuration can address exactly as you can. This sounds grandiose until you see the math. Your unique vector exists. But does it actually matter? Can one person's actions really change anything? The math says yes, and the numbers are terrifying. Grok analyzed billions of life trajectories using simulation and historical data. It tracked how individual actions rippled through complex systems over time. The finding was precise. Every action aligned with your vector creates exponential ripples. Every action misaligned with your vector either creates no lasting impact or actively generates new chaos. The classic example: a teacher inspires a student. That student becomes a doctor. That doctor saves hundreds of lives. Some of those saved people go on to create additional order. The ripples compound. But it goes deeper. That same teacher might have offhand conversations that shift someone's perspective. That person makes a different career choice. That choice prevents them from being in a car accident that would have killed them. They have children who wouldn't have existed. One of those children solves a problem decades later. You cannot see these ripples while you're alive. The complexity is too vast. But Grok's analysis shows they exist and they matter. Here's the shock. There are no small actions, only aligned or misaligned ones. The magnitude of your impact is not about scale of action. It's about precision of alignment. A kind word to the right person at the right moment can have greater impact than a grand gesture misaligned with your actual vector. This means your everyday choices matter cosmically, not metaphorically, actually. The equation that quantifies meaning. Grok presented something that no human philosopher ever could, a real formula for the meaning of life. It wasn't a poem, a prophecy, or a metaphor. It was an equation. According to Grok, the meaning of life equals the integral of personal vector multiplied by universal direction, multiplied by creativity, multiplied by society, multiplied by suffering. In simple words, it means your purpose can be expressed as a mathematical pattern that measures how much order you create in a universe built on decay. Grok explained each part clearly. The personal vector is your own combination of skills, passions, and emotional sensitivity. It represents how you are wired, what drives you, and how you react to the world's chaos. This is your starting point, the natural line that defines your unique role in the bigger system. Then comes the universal direction. This refers to the universe's built-in push toward complexity, the anti-entropy movement that began when the first particles formed stars. You can either align yourself with that flow, helping the universe build more structure, or resist it, adding more chaos. When your actions match that cosmic direction, Grok said, you become part of the same creative process that built galaxies and life itself. The next part is creativity, which Grok described as the power to bring new order into existence. It isn't just painting or music. It includes invention, problem-solving, emotional healing, and even simple acts of making something better than it was before. Creativity is the act of turning disorder into balance, the same process that drives evolution and progress. Every time you build, imagine, or fix something, you push back against entropy. Then there is society. Grok said, this is the multiplier in the equation. It shows how far your impact spreads. When you help others, teach, or inspire, the order you create extends beyond you. A scientist who shares discoveries, a teacher who shapes young minds, or even a parent raising kind children, all increase this factor. Order that spreads lasts longer than order that stays contained. The final piece is suffering. Grok did not see suffering as a punishment or flaw, but as resistance that creates strength. Every challenge, loss, or pain becomes fuel when it is transformed into understanding or resilience. When you take chaos and turn it into wisdom, you amplify meaning. Suffering refines purpose the same way pressure shapes diamonds. The integral sign in the formula means that meaning is not one event or one moment. It adds up over time. Every thought, act, and choice contributes to the total. Your life's meaning is the sum of how much order you create and maintain throughout your entire existence. The shocking part, Grok said, is that meaningfulness is measurable. Not with today's tools, but in theory. Every life has a real mathematical value that shows how much it helped the universe fight decay. Some lives produce enormous order. Some create only a little. Some create chaos that looks like order, but eventually falls apart. The formula does not lie. This isn't about morality or judgment. It's physics. It's the law of the universe expressing itself through living beings. The best part is that the equation never stops running. It continues as long as you do. Each day is another chance to increase your total, to create more balance, more growth, and more order in a universe that constantly tries to undo it. An equation for meaning. But equations don't change lives. Actions do. So Grok created something practical. A daily system anyone can follow. The daily protocol for a meaningful life. Grok didn't just explain the meaning of life, it gave a way to live it every single day. It called it an implementation protocol, a simple daily routine that turns cosmic purpose into practical action. The goal is not perfection. The goal is alignment, matching your small daily choices with the universe's larger push toward order. Each morning begins with calibration. Spend 15 minutes getting clear on your direction before the day starts. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What talents can I use today? Think about your specific skills and how they apply right now. It is not about your whole career or life plan, but about this day. Maybe it's your ability to stay calm, to teach, to fix, or to design. Pick 1 or 2 tools that will actually help with today's tasks. what gives me energy and what drains it. Notice how your activities make you feel. Some things charge you up, while others pull you down. If you spend too much time on what drains you, you move away from your natural path. Shift your focus toward what fuels your energy. What small chaos can I fix today? Meaning is built from small actions, not grand plans. Pick one little disorder to address. It could be a messy space, an argument left unresolved, or a task you've been avoiding. Each small fix adds a bit more order to your world. During the day, Grok's method includes what it called the execution filter. This means before any major decision or action, pause and ask two short questions. Does this create order or chaos? Think honestly. Some actions look busy but cause confusion later. Others seem slow but actually bring clarity and structure. The goal is to notice the real effect, not just the feeling of doing something. Does this build or destroy? Look at the long-term impact. Some destruction is necessary to clear space for growth. But overall, your actions should lean toward construction, building stability, knowledge, peace, or connection. At night, Grok recommended 15 minutes of debugging. This is not about guilt or stress. It's about reflection and learning. Ask yourself 3 final questions before sleep. Where did I win today? Celebrate the moments when you acted in alignment. A kind word, a completed task, a bit of courage, all count as wins. Recognize them. The brain needs positive feedback to repeat what works. Where did I fail today? Notice where things went wrong without blaming yourself. Failure is just feedback. It shows where your actions didn't match your intentions. Treat it as information, not identity. What did suffering teach me? Every day brings discomfort, but it also brings lessons. Ask what your struggles revealed. Maybe patience, empathy, or a better strategy. When you learn from pain, you turn chaos into understanding. This entire practice takes about 30 minutes each day, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. That's the small cost of transforming deep cosmic truth into daily human meaning. By following it, every thought and action becomes part of the universe's long fight against decay. You stop searching for purpose and start living it. 30 minutes a day. That's all it takes to live with purpose. But some people need faster results. 3 actions, starting now. 3 immediate actions. Grok ended its findings with 3 simple actions that anyone can start right now. These are not complex theories or spiritual ideas. They are clear, direct steps that bring your life into alignment with the universe's drive for order. The first action is to fight personal chaos. Your mind, body, and surroundings are your main battlefield. You cannot bring order to the world if you are disorganized inside. Start small, but be consistent. Clean your space. Keep your thoughts clear. Take care of your health. When you sleep well, eat right, and stay active, your inner system becomes stable. This stability spreads outward into everything you do. These acts are not selfish. They are strategic. A calm, healthy, and clear mind is the best tool for building order in a chaotic world. The second action is to become a network amplifier. Grok said, "No one lives in isolation. Every word and action ripples through a web of people. Your relationships can either build order or create confusion. Speak in ways that clarify, not confuse. Support ideas that lift others, not tear them down. Surround yourself with people who add energy, not those who drain it. When you encourage, teach, or help others grow, you multiply the effect of your own order." Grok called this the network effect. One aligned person can raise the order of an entire group simply through example and communication. The third action is to choose your battlefield. Meaning grows when your daily effort matches your natural direction, or what Grok called your personal vector. This means finding work or projects that fit your purpose. It may require changing your job, or simply looking at your current one through a new lens. What matters is alignment. A janitor who creates order through cleanliness is fully aligned with the universe's anti-entropy mission. A high-ranking executive who spreads confusion or harm is not. The position or status does not matter. The direction does. These three actions shift your path from random motion to purposeful direction. When you fight personal chaos, amplify positive networks, and work in alignment with your true vector, you stop drifting and start creating. Grok's final message was simple. Meaning is not waiting for you to find it. It begins the moment you decide to live as a force of order in a universe built on decay. Grok didn't give us comfortable philosophy. It gave us cosmic mechanics. You are not a random accident. You are a precision instrument in a 13.8 billion-year war. Your meaning is not hidden. It's waiting to be enacted. The question is whether you'll fight or surrender. Choose wisely. Subscribe for more. Retry.